Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people. This is the Enus Paragon R, and I'm about to find out if it'll off-road. You can vote for the vehicles that you want to see featured in upcoming Will It Off-Road videos by clicking on the link in the description down below. There is a whole line of other Enuses waiting to accompany me, but first we have a comment by two first-rate trolls. But I love them. That's probably why I love them, because they're such effective trolls. And hey, I think it might be the first Class C comment we've had on a Will It Off-Road video. Not sure about that. Of course, Sven's won bingo twice. He's in all the videos. He always comments. But, you know, we love him. So, I almost call it the Windsor. The Paragon. Definitely not a Windsor. In no stretch of the imagination is this thing any... I mean, same company, definitely different cars. Because this thing is... I love this car. I like it in both the armored and the non-armored version. I believe both versions are following me up the mountain. In addition to a Huntley S that's being driven by Commander Hobo. You've seen his Huntley S a few times, actually, in Will It Off-Road. So no points for originality for Commander this week. But the Paragon R, oh man. I mean, I knew this was a good car. I enjoy driving it. I like driving it around. I mean, I know it's not, you know, a land speed record holder or, you know, all that impressive around the track, but to just drive around in, it's very nice. I don't know. I like the noise that it makes. I love the look of it. Rockstar nailed the look of this car. It is beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. Of course, it comes with tons of customization. And it even comes with, you know, notification beeps every once in a while. And yeah, that was totally the car doing that, not the in-game notifications of me once again forgetting to disable them at the start of a Will It Off-Road video. No, couldn't be that. But this thing is just chewing this mountain right up. I mean, look at it go. Not even at the 2-minute mark, and we can already see the top, so we know we're in for a really good time. And that's not to say it hasn't had some issues. You know, it does suffer from the all-wheel drive understeer. And, of course, the driver getting a little too carried away at times. But that's been what most of the issues have been, is me having just underestimated exactly how fast I was going. Because this car can get up to some deceptive speeds. Handles climbing the side of that rock with no issue whatsoever. And it's up with an incident in 2 minutes, 32 seconds. So will the Paragon R off-road? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Phenomenally, actually. It doesn't have that good of an off-road traction loss value, honestly. We looked it up yesterday in between recording vehicles, and it's nothing super impressive, but it really does well. Look at Commander being an SUV driver, just shoving out ahead of everybody else so he can block the road with his big SUV ass. That's right. I will get Commander Hobo to get an SUV in real life. I will. Mark my words. His little sports car and econo box can't last forever. And yeah, and that's why he needs to be an SUV driver, because clearly he already drives like one. Ramming me off the side of the mountain. Almost was tragic, but managed to save it. Again, testament to the mighty Paragon R, which is just an absolute joy to take off-roading. I mean, I wouldn't want to take it rock climbing, and obviously it wouldn't do very well in deep water, but if you've got a mountain to climb, or even just a lot of dirt to cross, this thing is solid. I mean, not much really upsets it. Even when it does hit the bumps, I mean, as you can see there, it went airborne, but it lands so nice and flat. There's no drama when it lands. It doesn't bounce around. I mean, this thing has better off-road manners than many of the off-road class vehicles in this game. Watch this jump. Just no bounce, really. I mean, the reason it looked like it bounced a little bit, that's because of the terrain. It wasn't the car bouncing back up. It's just... This was a delight. This was easy. And I like it when Will It Off-Road is easy and I don't have to work for it. Because sometimes some of these cars are really hard to get up and down. But man, not the Paragon. Of course, you'll want to make sure with Paragon as well as the next vehicle, you're clicking the link in the description down below to go vote for vehicles that you want to see, but also to open up that Will It Off-Road bingo link and checking out the Will It Off-Road bingo. See if maybe you can win. And if you do, make sure you put bingo in the comments. Commander Hobo managed to lag out. Actually, I think his computer crashed. I think he had a driver error and his PC crashed. Just one of the, risks you run being part of the PC Master Race. But at least we're not console peasants. I mean, I love console peasants. I have a wall of consoles behind me. But Master Race is where it's at. And we're down 2 minutes, 26 seconds. So, of course, we're going to take it back to the top of Mount Chiliad and fling it off the side just to see what it looks like with a little bit of damage as someone with a really obnoxious horn honks their horn. So leave a comment. What do you guys think of those musical horns? Do you think they're just terribly obnoxious things that 12-year-olds have? Or do you think they're actually cool? I personally am in the former category. I think they're just obnoxious things that 12-year-olds have. But, maybe that's just me. Already lost the rear bumper, it looks like. Yeah, the rear bumper is gone. My character managed to save that driver's door. Reached out and closed it mid-roll. Not able to save the passenger door, though. Sven in a gold Paragon. Interesting. Bold choice of paints. Of course, I guess mine's not much better. This isn't a metal, but it is like a metallic silver. So, yeah, I guess I'm really not doing much better than him. Oh! Ow, managed to nail that boulder. Really sent me flying to the side. There goes the hood. So it looks like most of the windows are gone at this point. It is definitely a melee brawl getting down here. Seems to be the same two cars over and over again. Oh, and he threw me into a tree as the Dark Doctor goes flying by, and I ran back cubed out of the way. Sadly, Hobo is not among us. In the descent, because he was still reloading his game at this point. Actually, I think he was back in. He just hadn't made it over here yet. I'm pretty sure is what's going on. Oh, managed to hit the wall just a little tiny bit there. Somebody's already gotten up ahead of me there. And up into the wood pile. I pretty much just aim for that now. And we are down 1 minute, 44 seconds. Let's take a look at the damage on the Paragon. Most of the lights and all the windows are gone. The hood and the rear bumper missing. The doors and trunk won't close. And I forgot to mention the right door missing. And there are slightly bent wheels. And of course, we'll take a look at the support vehicles. One was being carried in. Somebody else lagged out. So that's why the cargo bob's mid-action shot there. And then, of course, we will get a shot of them from the rear. Or maybe not. Maybe we'll just go on to the thing. I'll edit in the rear shot. I forgot to, though, for the version I'm looking at. But that brings us to the Bravado Gauntlet Classic. And oh my god, I love this muscle car. I absolutely love this muscle car. I absolutely love this muscle car. Of course, I don't love the Novak, and it seems split a little bit. Donkey doesn't like it, but we've got Darth there that says, he likes the customization of it, and that's enough for him. And that's fine. That's the beauty of GTA. But my friend, just prepare for a vehicle that's just not fun to drive. It's just not. It's like that in the city, too. So if you think it's going to be a little bit better. But, hey, the Gauntlet's having some issues staying on two wheels as it is. But I don't even care. I don't, because this car is just fantastic. I really do like it. Something tells me I'm going to like this one a lot more than the Hellfire. If you saw my Hidden Vehicles video, you know that the Gauntlet Hellfire is, it's great in straight line speed, but doesn't really want to turn in. Oh, managed to get a hiker. Good job, good job. But yeah, the Hellfire doesn't really turn in. I can't wait to really test it. Matter of fact, I think I already have. I think I've recorded it using single-player PC mods like I did with the vehicles last week. Now, I don't remember how it did, honestly. I'm pretty sure I have recorded that. I don't know, maybe not. Anyway, so the Gauntlet Classic muscle car. So, of course, going to struggle a little bit, unlike the Paragon that had all-wheel drive and being a sports car. This is just rear-wheel drive, so you have to really watch the throttle a lot more because the back wheels will tend to spin on you. The nice thing about the Gauntlet, though, is what keeps it from being a top performer otherwise. It's just a little down on power. So it doesn't have the greatest top speed, doesn't have the greatest lap time. But that in turn means that it's not putting more power to the back wheels than what it can really get in grip for the most part. I mean, the tires do spin on me sometimes, and then I manage to hit a wall other times. But for the most part, I'm really able to keep the back end in check without having too many issues. And it's turning in a decent time. I mean, you know, we're not blistering up the side of the hill. By the way, speaking of times, the Paragon is the second fastest sports car now. It is 9 seconds slower than the Issy Sport, but it's a full second faster than the Revolter that was in second place. And that makes it 5th overall. It's a half second slower than the trophy truck up the mountain, which is just mind-boggling. That a sports car, a big heavy sports car, get up the mountain pretty much the same time as the trophy truck. And the Gauntlet's going to turn in a decent time as well. I mean, it's not, you know, in the top 10 like the Paragon are. You can tell that just by taking a look at the clock in the bottom right-hand corner, or the timer, I guess it is. But it managed to claw up there, climbed pretty well. We're up. 2 minutes, 59 seconds. So will it off-road as Commander assaults some hikers? Yes, yes it will. It did just fine. There was a fight that ensued there, by the way. It was pretty funny. It just managed to get edited out. And that makes this the first place muscle car in climbing the mountain. By over 3 seconds in fast, over the Tampa. I think it's the weaponized Tampa, actually. That was previously in first place. So not a bad showing. And the first muscle car to break that magic 3-minute mark. I mean, it only did it by, you know, less than a second, but still it did it. So kind of impressive. Managed to drive off the side there as the back end was bouncing around. Couldn't really get a whole lot of control over it, but got it back under control. Trying to keep my speed down because it doesn't do very well over the bumps. It's a little uncomposed. It likes to jump and hunt all around when it's in the air. So I am trying to keep the speed down a little bit for the controlled descent. As you can see by the brake lights coming on pretty frequently. But that's what, you know, it is the controlled descent. You do what you have to do, and that's why I do have a timer in it. I don't know why I bothered putting a timer in the damage descent, honestly. Just, you know, to have fun, I guess. Yeah, that's a good question. Why do I have a timer on the damage descent? Controlled descent does tell us a little bit, even though I don't rank the cars by how long it takes them to get down the mountain, because mishaps can happen. But it still gives us a good idea, because if you have to go particularly slow in a vehicle, so if it takes a long time to get back down, that timer does tell us a little bit about why. But, I mean, it's not too terrible, the Gauntlet Classic. It's just, I got to be very mindful, because you can see there, and that landing, that was ugly. I think I'm doing a little bit better than my support vehicles. The support vehicles, we're going to need to send them to off-roading school. This got ugly, though. Managed to save it, thankfully, and because that could have been really ugly. I about went off the mountain. Last big jump. And again, you can see on that landing, it only had like one wheel on the ground for a minute there. The right front was the only thing on the ground. Gonna finally be able to get heavy into the throttle during this straighter bit here, but this is about the only place I can really open it up, and I paid for it by managing to just barely tap a tree with that left rear quarter panel, and it spun me right on around. Hobo up there and a fellow Bravado. And hey, the reverse driving challenge will begin shortly. So get ready to drive backwards. Actually, we did drive backwards for part of it. We drove back to the top of the mountain. Schvinn and I drove backwards. Slid a little bit off the side again. Once again, caused by the thing. Having a bit of an issue with bumps. Almost got assaulted by a giant man. But now that we are back down on tarmac, the Gauntlet is a lot happier. And this is where this car just really shines. I love driving this car. I absolutely do. I haven't driven much else since it came out. But we are down 2 minutes, 47 seconds with a lovely entrance by Commander Hobo. So we're back to the top of Mount Chiliad. You can see how everybody's done in the reverse driving challenge. I didn't get very far, but Schvinn managed to back all the way up the mountain. Which is why it's now evening, because I was stuck behind him. And this car just didn't really have the grip to do it. The wheels just kept spinning in reverse. But, you know, at least I got 219.8 feet out of it, huh? Yeah, sure. And as usual, we have a cacophony of vehicles just all bouncing off of each other. So, fun times, happy times. I just continue to bully my way through the whole crowd, and Commander in the Jelly Rumpo up there just having a grand old time. And I managed to pull into first, even though it's not a race. We treat it like one. Finally got the right in, pointed the right direction. Hopefully keep it that way for a little bit as we navigate through these slaloms in the valley. But nope. Went off on 2 wheels, then went off to the side and managed to roll it. Almost a 6 stop, but not really. Trying to thread the needle and done. Perfect landing, perfect transition into there. But not so much through this tunnel. One of these days I will nail all 3 of these tunnels perfectly. Just boom, 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 one after the other. I don't know when that day will be, but I will do it one of these days. You watch, mark my words. And we're coming up by the wood pile. Again, I pretty much just aim for it now because as many times as I've hit it, may as well. And we are down in a minute, 34 seconds. Let's take a look at the damage on the Gauntlet Classic. Headlights and one taillight gone. All the windows are busted out. The hood, trunk, and doors will not close. And there is just slight body damage. And there's an idiot with a terrible horn. Take a look at the support vehicles. Yeah, that Phoenix looking pretty rough, as is the regular Gauntlet. Pretty beat up. But the other two don't look too terribly bad. And that is going to do it for this week's Will It Off-Road. Don't forget to go vote for the vehicles that you want to see featured in upcoming Will It Off-Road videos by clicking on the link in the description down below. We will return to voting soon, in a couple more weeks, maybe 3, maybe 4, but I'm going to get through a lot of the DLC cars first. But until then, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.